It's 3 years since the army of GM protesters were mobilised. Back then, public opinion and a damning government report put an end to all open-air genetically modified trials. This group claimed victory. But now the GM crops are back, and so are the demonstrators. The government has licensed 2 open-air trials in the UK, and today a report by the Advisory Committee on Releases to the Environment suggests Britain should ease back on controls and embrace the technology.
We have to accept that the world is changing, that population pressure is increasing, that there is going to be more competition for resources in the future, particularly for energy and for water, and that we are going to be facing new pressures on European land. And it would be, I think, unfortunate if we turned our back on new technologies that could help.
So is this the future? A genetically modified potato crop near Cambridge, planted by the biotechnology firm BASF. It's surrounded by a 20-metre protection zone to avoid cross-contamination, but according to Friends of the Earth, the trial is not independently monitored, and it says the government has dropped the requirement for many safety tests.
Well, there are particular concerns around this BASF GM potato trial which have been raised by the local community and local farmers. One of them is the risk of contaminating future potato crops, and the fact is that BASF have not been required to carry out anything like a serious safety assessment. So if they do get into the food chain, we have no idea of what the impact could be.
The government does have a wish, particularly the Prime Minister, for the GM industry in this country. Unfortunately, this is an area where I think the British people have a very different view, and where I think the government should listen to the British people. What's the point of having a consultation if immediately afterwards you then take the opposite view and push forward?
2 weeks ago, this group of protesters tried to find that guilty potato field. Armed with spades and a grid reference, they descended on a field near Hull, eager to resurrect the old tradition of digging up crops. But soon they and the police realised it was in fact a bean field. They did apologise to the farmer, but despite the mistake they vowed to fight on, claiming these protests will grow.